What if your life isn't being shaped by the moments you remember, but by the ones you didn't even notice? Not the big risks, not the obvious turning points, the small ones, the quiet ones, the decisions that feel like nothing at the time, but aren't nothing at all. Because by the end of this episode, you're going to realise something unsettling and powerful at the same time. Your life is not built on major decisions, it's built on thousands of tiny ones, and they are either building you or quietly destroying you. Picture this, you're walking through a corridor filled with doors. None of them look important. No labels, no signs. You open one, step through. Nothing dramatic happens. Just another corridor, another door, another step. It feels like you're going nowhere, but zoom out and you realise something. Every door wasn't just a moment, it was a direction. And without noticing, you've drifted miles away from where you started. That's how life actually moves. This is the butterfly effect. A simple idea with brutal implications. Small changes at the start create massive differences at the end. A butterfly flaps its wings and somewhere else a storm forms. Sounds abstract, but your habits, your thoughts, your reactions, they operate on the exact same principle. And nowhere is this idea more disturbingly real than in the butterfly effect, the film. In the film, Evan can go back and change moments from his past, just small ones, a conversation, a reaction, a decision. At first it feels like control. He fixes things, prevents pain, rewrites outcomes. But every time he returns to the present, something's off. A better past creates a worse future. One fixed problem creates 5 new ones. And slowly it hits him. You can change the input, but you don't control the ripple. Now bring that into your life, because you're doing the same thing without the ability to rewind. Every reaction you have, every habit you repeat, every time you avoid something, you are altering your future. But you don't get to preview the outcome. You live it. So let's go deeper. Imagine 2 versions of you. Same life, same starting point. Version 1 stays the same habits, same thinking, same comfort zones. Version 2 makes one small shift, just one. They act when they'd usually hesitate, speak when they'd usually stay quiet, choose discipline once where they'd usually choose comfort. That's it. 1 week, no difference. 1 month, barely noticeable. 6 months, something feels different. A year, clear separation. 5 years, completely different lives. Not because of one big decision, but because of small ones, repeated. Up to this point, it sounds empowering. Small actions matter. You're one decision away from a different life. But here's the part most people don't confront, the darker edge of this idea. Because the same force that builds your life can quietly destroy it. Economist Alfred Kahn called it the tyranny of small decisions. Not one catastrophic mistake, not one dramatic failure, but hundreds, thousands of tiny decisions that feel too insignificant to matter. So you ignore them, you justify them, you repeat them. You've probably heard the phrase death by 1,000 cuts, and that's exactly what this is. Not one wound that takes you down, but a series of tiny ones, each one harmless on its own, but together, inevitable. Skipping the gym once feels harmless, repeating it becomes your standard. Avoiding one difficult conversation feels easy, avoiding all of them becomes your identity. Choosing comfort today feels deserved, choosing it every day becomes your life. It's not collapse, it's erosion. Slow, silent, invisible, like water carving through rock. Not in one moment, but over time. Until one day the structure is gone, and you don't remember where it started to break. This is where everything sharpens. The butterfly effect shows you that small decisions create massive outcomes. The tyranny of small decisions shows you that those outcomes are not always in your favour. And here's the truth that sits in the middle. You are always compounding. There is no neutral. You are either building momentum or building decay. So go back to the butterfly effect. Evan tries to control everything, fix everything, perfect every version of reality. But what he misses is this. Small decisions don't create chaos when you interfere with them. They create chaos when you ignore them too. Because doing nothing is still a decision. Avoiding something is still a decision. Silence is still a vote. Let me give you a visual you won't forget. A plane takes off. If it adjusts its path by just 1 degree, just one, it feels like nothing. No one on board notices. Everything seems normal, but over time, the plane doesn't land slightly off course. It lands in a completely different country. Your life works the same way. Your daily choices are that degree. So stop asking, will this change my life? Most small actions won't feel like they do. Ask instead, is this the direction I want my life to go? Repeatedly. Because repetition is what turns choices into identity, into trajectory, into destiny. Every action is a vote. Every thought is reinforcement. Every habit is construction. You are building something constantly. Not in the big cinematic moments, but in the quiet ones. And here's the final shift. The most dangerous decisions in your life are not the ones that feel wrong. They're the ones that feel insignificant. Right now, you're in one of those moments. It doesn't feel like a turning point. No pressure, no signal. Just another moment. But so was everything that got you here. Your life isn't shaped in explosions. It's shaped in echoes. Small actions, repeated over time, until they become something irreversible. So the next time you're about to dismiss something as small, pause. Because it might not be small at all. It might be the very beginning of something. Or the quiet start of something you want to undo in future. Because whether you realise it or not, you are always choosing. And those choices are always compounding. And if you like this episode, please don't forget to follow, like, comment and subscribe. And just a quick shout out to our sponsors. Strong Coffee Company, protein-packed coffee for energy and clarity. Use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at strongcoffeecompany.com. And then there's more labs. Clinically proven hydration and recovery drinks. Use code Vancrux1 for 25% off at morelabs.com. And finally, liquor gummies, electrolytes and vitamins for hangover prevention. Use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at liquor.com. That's liquure.com.